Good morning, teacher. How are you? I hope you all are safe at home. Today, I am taking the Human Health and Diseases Part 3 of 12th Standard. Here, I am going to discuss immunity and its type, two limbs of acquired immunity, difference between active and passive immunity, vaccination and immunization. Let us discuss about immunity and its types. We know that every day we are exposed to large number of infection or large number of infectious agent, but only a exposures will result in disease. Why this happens? Why only few exposures will result in disease? This is due to the fact that body is able to protect itself from most of the foreign materials. So immunity is the ability of host to fight against disease causing organism, that is pathogens. I hope that it is clear to all of you about immunity. It is the ability of an organism to fight against disease causing microbes. There are two types of immunity. What are those? They are innate immunity and acquired immunity. Okay, what are those? Innate immunity and acquired immunity. So immunity is classified into two major headings. First is innate immunity and second one is acquired immunity. Innate immunity consists of four types of barriers. What are those barriers? Physical barriers, physiological barriers, cellular barriers. We will discuss here this in details. Acquired immunity is again divided into active immunity and passive immunity. Now we will also discuss about all this in the session. First is about innate immunity. Innate immunity is present at the time of birth. What? It is already present at the time of birth. It refers to all the defense elements which an individual is born. Along with this, an individual is born, and it is always available in our body to protect from microbes. But there is one drawback, because innate immunity is not a specific, it is non-specific. Okay, so this is about the innate immunity, means it is present at the time of birth. Okay, so let us discuss about the different barriers of this innate immunity. First is physical barrier. Physical barriers include skin, mucus coated epithelium of respiratory, gastrointestinal and urinogenital tracts. What is present? In this case, mucus is helpful in trapping the microbes which may enter from outside the environment. So mucus present in the respiratory tract, in the gastrointestinal tract, in the urinogenital tract, means this tract means path. Okay, so mucus are present, and this mucus helps in trapping the microbes which are entering inside the body from outside environment. Next barrier is physiological barrier. Physiological barrier includes acidity of stomach, saliva in mouth, tear of eye. We know that HCl is released from gastric gland of stomach. Ptyalin is present in saliva, and tear of eye contain lysozyme. So all these substances, all these chemicals are helpful in trapping the microbes. What are those? What are? HCl from gastric gland, ptyalin from saliva, and lysozyme from tear of eye. So all these are responsible for trapping the microbes or pathogens. So another innate barrier is cellular barrier. Cellular barrier means some cells are responsible for increasing the immunity of our body. Cellular barrier include certain types of leukocyte, that is WBC, white blood corpuscles of our body. For example, polymorphonuclear leukocyte, that is PMNL. What is polymorphonuclear leukocyte and monocyte, as well as natural killer, means types of lymphocytes in the blood and macrophages in the tissue. So all these are cells and can phagocytose and destroy the microbes. Phagocytose means they kill the microbes. Another barrier is cytokinin barrier. In this case, when the cell get infected by virus, then virus infected cell secrete a protein, and that is called as interferon. What called? Interferon. And this interferon is responsible for protecting non-infected cell. Okay? So interferon is produced by virus infected cell, and that is helpful in protecting the non-infected cell from viral infection. So this is all about innate immunity. Now we will learn about acquired immunity. In this case, an individual acquires the immunity after birth. Okay? Unlike innate immunity. So either it is developed by contracting the diseases or by vaccination. Okay? So unlike innate immunity, acquired immunity is pathogen specific and only present in vertebrates. Okay? Pathogen specific and only present in vertebrates. It has following characters. That is, first is specificity. Specificity means it has the ability to differentiate between different foreign materials or different foreign molecules entering outside body. Now the second characteristic feature is of acquired immunity is memory. What is? It is memory. That is memory. It means that when our body encounters a pathogen for the first time, what? When our body encounters a pathogen for first time, it produces a response that is called as primary response. What it is called? It is called primary response, by which the pathogen is eliminated. Primary response is of low intensity. It is of low intensity. During this process, means during the development of this primary response, some memory cells are developed. What? Some memory cells are developed, and same pathogen encounter to our body next time, then memory cells developed by primary response work in more intensified manner, and it is called secondary response, or also called as anamnestic response. What? Anamnestic response. This is always asked in exam. What is the anamnestic response. Both primary and secondary immune response are carried out with the help of two special type of lymphocytes present in our blood. They are T lymphocytes. What does this mean? B means bone marrow lymphocytes and T means thymus lymphocyte. Out of these two lymphocytes, B lymphocyte produces proteins called antibodies. Okay, it is developed or produced inside our body to fight against the pathogen which is entering outside the body. So what? Again I am telling, B lymphocyte produces protein called antibodies to fight against the pathogen. T lymphocytes do not produce any protein or antibody, but it helps B lymphocyte to produce antibody. Okay. Now the next topic is about two limbs of acquired immunity. First is about humoral immune response. It consists of antibodies that are circulating in fluid, body fluid. Different types of antibodies are produced by B lymphocytes in response to the antigen, and they are called immunoglobulin. Okay, pronunciation immunoglobulin. So these immunoglobulin are of different types. What are? Immunoglobulin A, immunoglobulin D, immunoglobulin E, immunoglobulin M, immunoglobulin G, etc. So these are the different types of immunoglobulin. Body consists of how many? 4 polypeptide chains. Okay, held together in the form of Y shape. Which structure? Y shape structure, where the tip of upper two arms bind to the antigen in a lock and key manner to form antigen antibody complex. Here two polypeptide chains are long and they are called as heavy, denoted by H chains. Okay, and the other two are short, called light chain, denoted by L. So an antibody is represented by H2L2. What? H2L2. Why H2L2? Because two heavy chain and two light chain. Polypeptide, two heavy chain and two light chain. Here you can observe the Y shape. This is the Y shape, this antibody, okay, molecule with this is heavy chain, these two are heavy chain and these two are light chain. Okay, and this is the antigen antibody, that is antigen binding site. Okay, this is the antibody and here the antigen binding sites are present. Means foreign material when enter, they bind here. Okay, so the antibody molecule. Now next is mediated immunity, that is CMI. The T mediate cell mediated immunity. What? T lymphocyte is responsible for cell mediated immunity. There are two groups of T lymphocytes, that is cytotoxic killer T cells or helper T cells. What are? One is killer T cells or helper T cells. Both these T cells have different functions. Cytotoxic T cells kill the specific target cell by a variety of mechanisms. whereas helper T cell activate the specific B cells to produce antibodies. The body itself is able to differentiate between self and non-self. So, T lymphocyte of cell-mediated immune response is responsible for graft rejection. Now, let us see what are the difference between active and passive immunity. So, let us see active immunity. When the antibodies are developed by our own cell in response to antigen, it is called active immunity. Okay. When ready-made antibodies are directly given, ready-made outside to protect against antigen, then it is called as passive immunity. It is developed by our own cell, but it is directly given to the body to protect against the antigen. It stay for longer period, but it stay for shorter period. Okay. Next difference is it takes time to develop immunity and it is faster. This difference is always asked in exam, so go through it nicely. Active immunity developed during natural infection. Immunity developed by vaccination. Okay, and here the passive immunity given to infant by antibodies in cholesterol, and immunity given by the tetanus antitoxin. So these are the difference between active and passive immunity. Next is vaccination and immunization. What is vaccination and immunization? Here the principle of vaccination and immunization is based on what we have discussed, memory of immune system. The vaccine which we are given from outside, it generates antibodies, and that neutralize the effect of toxin or pathogen, and also it produces memory B cells and T cells, means memory bone marrow cells and memory thymus cells. And these cells are recognized, this cell recognize the pathogen in subsequent exposure to produce antibodies. Means once the memory cell has been developed, whenever the same pathogen enter, then this memory cell recognize the pathogen and in subsequent exposure, and they produces antibodies. Now what is vaccination? It is a process of injecting small amount of inactivated or weakened pathogen. Okay, what is inactivated or weakened pathogen is introduced in our body. So that process is called as vaccination. What is vaccination? It is a process of injecting a small amount of inactivated or weakened pathogen. Next is, if a person is infected deadly microbe, quick immune response is needed, as in tetanus. Then we need to directly inject the performed antibodies or antitoxin. This is called passive immunization. So as soon as the body or the person is infected, so we have to quickly inject to neutralize that antitoxin, okay, which is already neutralize that whatever may be the microbes. So that is neutralized by antibodies or antitoxin. Now recombinant DNA technology has allowed the production of antigenic polypeptide of pathogen in microbes like yeast and bacteria. Okay. So hepatitis B vaccine is produced using the yeast cells. So this is all about today's session. Thank you and have a nice day. For any kind of doubts, please write your questions in comment section.